Welcome, Cancer and Cancer Cross Watchers, to your reading for this week. So we have the Eight of Swords here. Cancer, I'm kind of getting this feeling that you are, it seems to be like you have been abandoned to a certain extent, okay? But I feel like that being abandoned happened sometime in the past, and I feel like it's like whoever left, you don't hear their footsteps anymore, and they're long gone now, and it's like you can kind of take the blindfold off, looking at the imagery here, right? And untie yourself, and I feel like there's this moment of like you're looking out, and maybe it would look barren to other people, but it feels like it's a whole new, from what I'm seeing from you, it's almost like it feels like it's a whole new world, like a whole new opportunity. I feel like you may have been, hold on for a second. It's almost like you were kind of caught up in something or otherwise preoccupied. And you were in it so long that when it was finally over, it's almost like it took a hot minute to adjust to it. Hold on for a second. Can we get one for what's coming up? Oops, for Cancer. We have the Three of Wands. I feel like you might be in a stage where the Three of Wands talks about waiting for your ships to come in, and the Five of Pentacles talks about feeling left out in the cold. And I feel like you know that it's time for you to step forward and start kind of, I was going to say like kicking butt and taking names, if you will. But I feel like there's this fear that's holding you back, and it seems to be something, I think you know that even though it may have been that fear was like brought up by this recent situation, I think you know that it wasn't put there by what's happening right now. And I feel like to a certain extent, you may almost feel like silly for even, how do I say this? Silly for even feeling afraid, if that makes sense. Hang on. I mean, it's clear you got your heart broken here. I feel like some of you may be looking at it like even you're wondering why it hit you so hard. And I feel like that seems to be the answer, right? That it's like the more you kind of sit in it, the more you realize that you weren't heartbroken over losing this person. I feel like you were heartbroken over feeling like something that you worked really hard for was slipping through your fingers, right? It feels, this might sound strange, but it's almost like whatever it was that happened in the past that you lost, I feel like you may not have an emotional connection to it anymore. It's almost like, it's just like when you think about it, because you're used to feeling sad when you think about it, that's there. But I feel like there's this cognitive voice coming in that says like, actually, we're not upset about that anymore. If that makes sense. I'm going to clarifier on the Five of Pentacles. Oh, that's why. Because it was extraordinarily difficult. And I feel like to a certain extent, whatever happened in the past, whatever heartbreak it wasn't just you that had to suffer because of it. It was people that you cared about. And I feel like, Cancer, sometimes you might I feel like Cancer gets a bad rap for, the memes. A lot of the memes act like Cancers are always upset and they're always crying and they're always emotional and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like that may at times make you feel like that's like, it's not something that you can express, but like, I feel like there might be this kind of inner dialogue that you're having, wondering if, like, am I really upset about this? Is it too much? You know what I mean? And I feel like if you allow yourself to drop a lot of that, I feel like you're actually going to see that you're not really that upset about this. And it's almost kind of like the reaction to that is, I feel like you're looking at it like, did I miss something? Is there anything else that I have to heal before I can throw this in the garbage? And I feel like that may be why you're in a space where you're still kind of feeling a little held back by it. And I think it's because you don't want to revisit this. When all is said and done, and this is packed away, and the situation is, over, I feel like you have zero intention of returning to any of this. But I feel like that in your zeal, we'll call it, to make sure that you don't have to return to this, I actually feel for some of you, you may have stayed in it too long. And it's almost like that's why there seems to be some sort of disconnection from the certain like feelings that you're having, because it's like you're going through the motions, and it's almost like there's things that are happening out of habit, but it doesn't feel connected because it's not actually how you feel. I'm going to ask you a question instead of telling you something. Cancer, are you actually upset about this anymore? Because from what I'm seeing, I don't think that you are. I feel like there's actually seems to be like hope for the future and looking forward. But I feel like you may feel for some reason that you're expected to act in a certain way, or there's going to be backlash. If that makes sense. Can we get a clarifier on that? Okay, that's too many cards. Can we get a clarifier on that? I feel like when you're done and you're going to kind of shed all of this, you really want to start fresh. You don't want it to be all of this muddled garbage with all of this kind of thing. But I feel like if all of this is removed, let's just, for argument's sake, I want to say, I feel like that it actually does not matter to you anymore. And I feel like there's somebody here that is waiting for you to realize that. And sometimes when people are waiting for a long time, they kind of, they stop wanting to wait, or they get ready to move on. I feel like this person decided at one point in time that they're going to wait, and that's that. And what's interesting is I feel like they really miss you. That's interesting. That person just kind of, what does Cancer need to know about where this person's head is at? Oh. So we have Justice with the Empress. So here's the thing, Cancer. I feel like whoever this person is that has been waiting for you and that really does miss you, they seem to be somebody that is very matter of fact. They seem to be somebody that is like, if they see an injustice, they seem to be willing to do things that other people aren't in order to correct that justice. And it's like people wouldn't be willing to do those sorts of things because they would feel guilt about it. They wouldn't really be able to come to terms with having done something like that themselves. This person doesn't seem to have that. If they feel like they're correcting the scales of justice, as it were, they do not have any qualms about doing that. I feel like it's somebody that when they get something in their head, that's kind of it. And it's, I feel like it would take something really big to change their mind about something like that. And from what I'm seeing, I feel like this person is holding out for you. And I almost want to say, even if they seem to be somebody that is very sure of what they want and what they don't, right? So it's almost like even if they don't know you specifically, they know they want someone exactly like you. And it's like the moment they see you, they're going to be like, and that's it. That's the one. I'm gonna go get Cancer. um, it's a really, really interesting energy. It's a very unique kind of, it's not one that's in a reading all the time. Um, and I feel like they seem to be somebody, they know that people don't really know what to expect from them, because it's like they don't play by the rules that everybody else plays by. They don't kind of fall into what society expects from them, or this person or that person. It's like they're going to do what they want to do, and that's what they're going to do. And I feel like they have something, some sort of base or foundation that allows them to not conform. And I feel like they really want to share that with you because they want you to experience that freedom. So, Cancer, I think I'll leave it there. I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we will see you on the next one. Much love. Bye.